Hey there, it's Red. Welcome back to the garden. Today we're going to walk through how to trim Salvia leucanthea or Santa Barbara sage, also known as a Mexican sage, larger variety, but same growth habits and same trimming techniques. So as you can see, the blooms are for the most part spent, the leaves are starting to die on the taller growth, and at the base down here you'll see some new tiny little growth coming up, and they have like that darker, more vibrant green leaf to it. We've got a dead bloom here that's fully done. You follow that all the way down to the base, try to get below the new growth that's coming up already, and you'll just snip it as close to the base as you can. And that's how you do it. So now we're gonna do that same technique around this entire plant. Sometimes with these, when they're super overgrown, I like to start at the parts that are touching the ground first, to then give you an idea of the real width of the whole plant and the shape of it in case you need to, ball it back up and do a circle or whatever kind of shape you're going for at the end there. And then you just get in there and you just start snipping away. So as you're trimming these two, any place you cut on the existing growth has the potential to put out two new stems and become more growth. So these will grow back like crazy. There is absolutely no way that you can over trim these, especially when it's super healthy looking like this. I guess the only time that you could over trim this is if, as you're cutting the old growth out like this, there would be no new growth on the bottom and everything would be like more of a yellow, like it has a nutrient deficiency or a water deficiency. And if that was the case, I would not trim the existing growth as close to the ground, and I would actually probably only trim it down like maybe to 8 or 12 inches off the ground. This would give the plant, way more options and opportunities to put out new growth at any of those nodes along the branches. Now that we got the first one all done, let's move on to its neighbor. So as you can see, all of this growth is really just coming out of a tiny little root ball area. The plant takes up a lot of space when it gets big, but when it's small, it does not take up that much space. So it's good to keep that in mind when you're planting these for the first time, or when you're trimming the plants around it maybe, or when you're really doing anything around this plant, that it has a small footprint, but when it gets going and grows, its footprint doubles or even triples in size. If you're new to this plant, you will be genuinely surprised at how fast this thing will grow back. It's going to look really small when we're done with it, but this will pop back, especially during the spring and summer and the growing seasons. This will pop back to be just as big as it was before in like a month, 2 months tops. Part of the constant battle with this one plant in particular in this location is it will grow through that metal fencing right there and disrupt the walkway that's around the veggie planter beds in there. So throughout the season, I'm constantly cutting them off of the fence, and then I'll come through like once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, depending on the weather we've had, and do a big trim like this. So right there, you saw a runner. I'm pulling out runners that are trying to shoot this plant off away from the root ball, and we don't want that. We want it to stay nice and tidy. So here we go. There she is. That's all she wrote. Thanks for stopping by the garden, and come on back for other tips and tricks and checking out my succulent garden.